Hi, I'm Ben Wojdyla. Today on Saturday Mechanic, I'm going to take a stab at answering one of your questions. How you doing today? My name is Ben Wojdyla. This guy over here is Russ Ferguson. How are you?
Fabulous. Thanks for having me on today, guys.
Who are we speaking to today?
This is Mike from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Great.
Is that a pool I see in your background there, Mike?
Lovely, cool pool. Wish you guys had one to jump in.
I really wish we did too. It's a good 90 degrees in here, wouldn't you say?
Easy.
Easy. It's been warm in Michigan, so we're cooking a little bit, but
In the Popular Mechanic's garage.
it's always hot.
Yep, it's a hot place to be.
So you have a problem for us.
I do. I have a 2004 BMW 530i. It's not the XI with the all-wheel drive. It's got 75,000 miles on it. And I have a shake in the wheel, in the car. I've had it balanced and rebalanced at Discount Tire, where it's free, where I bought the tires. And I can't seem to get rid of the shake. And I'm wondering what I should do, what I should try next.
Before we get real deep into it, is it the kind of shake that only happens at certain speeds, or is it all the way from start to cruising altitudes?
It's usually on the highway. Sometimes it'll start at about 55. Other times it starts at 65 to 75. And occasionally it won't even do it. And I can't even determine why.
That's good information. That's the type that helps us out. If it were a tire, then it would be consistent. Every time you rolled through, 57 to 62 miles an hour, it'd be consistent because you touch that. But when it's inconsistent, it's something that's changing. It could be, an unbalanced drive shaft. No, that would always be consistent. Okay, so we've got something that's moving. I've experienced cars with a pinion, the ring and pinion in the differential, that had excessive clearance there, and that it would change at different speeds. It would be absent sometimes, and it would shake your teeth. And how violent is this shaking?
It's just bothersome. If there's nobody in the passenger seat, you can look over and it's
Headrest
just vibrating
vibrates.
like the dickens.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
But in the wheel, it's enough to where it makes my watch jingle. So it's just bothersome.
So there's feedback through the steering wheel, though, not just
yes.
through the rest of the car.
Well, through the steering wheel and certainly the seat, and the seat's not loose. I checked the mounts and the seat's not loose. I recently drove from Seattle to Albuquerque, and it was, unfortunately, a lot of it was in the snow, so I had to slow down. But when I could open it up in some of the open roads to 85, 95, it seemed to go away, but never completely.
If you pull over the side of the road or stopped in a rest area and return to the road, is it always there? A stop by the side of the road and then back up to speed, and does it always return?
It does, but it only returns to those higher speeds, around 55 to 75 in those ranges.
Well, we got to do something about this.
Yeah, that makes cruising very uncomfortable.
Just because you may want to ask your reputable tire dealer, you went to a good one, if they used a road load balancer. Okay, that's where they pressure the tire against a drum, and you get a really, really nice balance from that. It's more expensive, but it solves the real hard cases. But again, if the speed changes, if it was a constant speed, I'd go that it's a wheel weight. It's a balance issue, but we've got something else going on here. Can I ask about the steering wheel? If we touch our fingertips to it, does it jiggle back and forth, or does it go up and down? You know what I'm saying? Like if you had something loose in the front end, does it do that?
No, it seems to be tight.
Do you feel the vibration in the steering wheel?
Only at the higher speeds.
I think he's feeling it in the
if
entire
I'm on a
car.
road,
Okay.
It's like a 45 mile an hour road, and I'm cruising in between stoplights between 45 and 50. It's usually smooth as glass. Just wonderful.
A proper BMW is what you're saying.
Yes.
So, I know you might chastise me for this, Russ. Might be throwing parts in it, but I think it might be a wheel bearing. I mean, I've had a lot of German cars that have had stubborn vibrations that were solved with wheel bearings.
So how are you going to have them check, which one of the four wheel bearings it is? You're going to have them drive around on two wheels? Is that it?
Well, no,
Drag
but
the other ones?
But you can test this by turning circles.
Ah.
And it's not foolproof, but it's a good idea. Now, if you
That is the way we
Yeah.
test bearings.
Now, if you do a constant circle at a constant speed in a parking lot, just turn the wheel all the way to lock, and if you start feeling a vibration,
Or hear a groaning.
yeah, something like that,
Right.
you get the impression that the problem is on the outside wheel, right? Turn the other way, all the way opposite, and if you feel that groaning or vibration go away, that confirms it on the other side. Likewise, it's reversed.
But let me add to the complexity here. And I always thought this was completely unrelated. It was just bothersome. If I've been driving, let's say 20 miles or so, commute, coming into work, and I slow down and I'm pulling into a parking spot, and the first time I touch the brakes, there's a big clunk. You could hear metal on metal, like something is moving.
Ooh.
And I always thought it was a caliper, that something was misaligned, and or an idler arm or something like that.
Okay,
And
well, there we need to go. There we need to go to someone to have them look at the suspension. You can do this, but what's nice to do is if you have a lift where if you could jack this up and go underneath the lower control arm and try to get some movement there. If the lower control arm, though, is the issue, we have to hang the wheels on a two-post hoist, okay? So it's something that a shop can do, but if you've got the equipment, put your jack stands underneath the lower control arms and check everything. If you can even check for a ball joint there. But my thought might be that you have the lower wishbone, or it is a multi-link suspension, and that one of the bushings on this, you live in a pretty warm climate, and so we call that severe duty where you live, and so the rubber that is the bushing, you may have one of those that has loosened.
Hey guys, we're getting a major storm here in Albuquerque, so I had to move. Thanks for your patience.
All right, wish that was coming our way. Hopefully it would cool things down, but I don't think we're going to get that. I get the bad feeling that neither one of us is satisfied with this question at this point.
Well, we're not satisfied with our answer. That's the trouble with doing an armchair quarterback and not looking at a vehicle. We're mechanics. We like to touch and smell and do that. But I would like to see that car up on a rack. Do you have a trusted mechanic? And I'm sorry, this is a do-it-yourself show, but I want this solved because you're tired of it. So if you've got a mechanic, I'd like to have everything in the suspension checked for tightness when it's weighted and when it's unweighted, when it's hanging, and just see if anything is loose. Okay.
Yeah, and we're looking for anything that spins in the process. So in a BMW, you've got everything from the transmission back.
Candidly, my son is going to be driving in a couple of years, and I was going to put big rotors on it, Bilstein shocks, the M kit, and kind of make it a quasi-M car. So I was going to have it jacked up anyway to replace the suspension bushings, which are polymer, I think. They're little
And you're giving
polymers.
and you're giving this to your son for his first car?
Well, it's paid for, and I guarantee he's going to wreck it. And so,
At least you got your eyes
certainly
open.
not getting a new car.
Well, I wish he was my kid.
No, me
Okay,
too.
so I appreciate you answering the Twitter, and if you do get this solved, that'd be great. Ben would definitely like to know what it was.
Absolutely, I'd love to know. My email address is in the description on the section in the YouTube channel. Shoot me a note if you get it fixed, so I can pass it along in the future.
I'll do it. I'll follow up when I determine exactly what it is. I bet you guys, one of the things you suggested is their answer. So I appreciate your time today.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.